home of brilliant children's books. Meow!
Hi, this is Mark Dorey, children's author, and welcome to Tomser Storytelling. And as a children's author, I get asked lots of strange questions. And one of the questions that I get asked quite a lot is about books or movies. Which one is better? Is it books or is it movies? Well, the thing is, it is a tricky question. And it's not an age-old question, because question's been around ever since movies have been made. Books have been around for a lot longer. But in this video, we're going to look at why I think, as a children's author, books are, better than movies. So why don't you like and subscribe to this channel and click the bell, and you will never miss another Tomser storytelling video. So let's get into the meat of it. Books or movies? Which one is better? Let's find out. So here we are. We've got someone reading a book and someone watching a movie. So books or movies, which one is it? Well, let's have a look, is it? So we move this one over here and this one here. We've got a picture of a very handsome author. This is me. And the thing is, say you read one of our books, or any books, but say, let's talk about my experience here. If you read one of our Tomser books, you actually, when you're looking at the words magically transform, and you get to see exactly what I've written in the book. There's nothing added, there's nothing taken away. And your imagination is let loose, because the words are doing something magical as you read them. They're transforming in pictures in your mind, and you actually go on the adventure with me. Whereas when you watch a movie, say they make a movie of my book, basically what happens is the director, the guy who sort of puts, or the person who puts the book together, he's actually going to read the book, and due to budgetary constraints, he's going to actually decide what goes in and out of the movie. So some things he might not afford. He might not be able to afford a big dragon, so he might put something else in, or he might actually add something to the book. So the film is not always the same as the book. And for me, as a children's author, reading has several advantages. It engages the imagination. As I said, when you're looking at the story, you're forming pictures, you're going on a journey, you're actually there, just as the author intended. It improves your concentration and attention span. And particularly, this is particularly important with children, because they need their concentration and attention span focused. And reading a book really does improve that. And also, it is immersive. When particularly children, well, adults as well, but particularly children, it fully engages the brain. When you're watching a movie, you're just taking in everything with your eyes. But when you're actually reading a book, you are fully immersed in the adventure. You're engaged, and your brain is much more fully engaged. So this is on the front of our website, and I do Tomser. I've put it in the shape of Tomser, but not only that, I've written what we're all about. And it says this: we all have stories to tell. Stories are magical. Stories can transport us to far off places, both real and imagined. Stories can fill the mundane with adventure. Stories can make us everything we ever wanted to be. Everyone loves a good story. And yes, everyone does love a good story. And a few months ago, I went into a school and there was this written on the blackboard: innocuous on the outside, bigger on the inside, able to transport you through time and space. Oh my gosh, every book is a TARDIS. And that's it. Every book is a TARDIS. Every book is a TARDIS. It'll take you through time and space. You can be whoever you want, wherever you want, in whatever time period you want. it actually takes you wherever the book wants to transport you. Because reading stories is like, I got my Joe Wicks t-shirt on here. As exercise develops your body, reading develops your brain. And so reading stories is an amazing thing to do. Reading actually relaxes. It helps you to unwind, because lots of times kids get wound up about so many things. Adults get wound up about so many things. But reading actually relaxes. It takes your mind off the world's cares and it unwinds you. It's a great thing before going to bed to read or to be read to. And reading stories, again, engages the imagination. And when I was little, the stories I used to read were Paddington and Winnie the Pooh in particular. And with these books, I always used to look forward to the illustrations. I loved the stories in and of themselves, but I absolutely loved the illustrations. And look, what's not to love about those illustrations there, the Paddington Bear, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. And the thing is, when I decided to become an author, I wanted children reading our books, to read Tomser books, to have that illustrated experience. So we illustrated our stories too. So all our stories are fully illustrated. And Liz, my wife, does the illustrations, when she wants to get lots of detail in, so she does it on A2 huge pieces of paper, and then we can get them into the books with lots of detail. But they're not just black and white, they're actually full colour illustrations, which I find really exciting. And the great thing is, when I'm talking to Liz about what the illustrations I want, she often puts in things in the illustration which I've never thought of, which I think is absolutely amazing. So on the right there, you've got Polly's magic bubbles, and then you've got Midge the giant whizzing off in a giant shoe. And reading stories actually drives the imagination. It drives the imagination, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's one of the things we all possess, and kids got it in abundance, and us adults need to reclaim it too. And our Tomser promise is that if you look at any of our children's books, all our children's books are filled with adventure. Why? Because I love adventure. And they are magical. For me, I used to read Enid Blyton's Secret 7, Famous 5 and Paddington, and I used to love all these books. But once I read The Hobbit, someone gave me a copy of The Hobbit when I was about 10, I wanted all our books to have a magical element. And that's not necessarily wizards or anything else. It's just a magical element. All our books have great characters. I love putting great characters together and putting them in extraordinary situations. They're loaded with humor because I love having a good laugh. I mean, you need to have a good laugh, don't you, when you're reading the books as well. And also, there's no bad language in our children's books, and there's no inappropriate material. And that's our promise to you. So if you actually get a Tomser book, that's our promise to you, that it's going to be filled with adventure, it's going to be magical, have some great characters, you're going to have a few laughs, and there's not going to be any gratuitous language or inappropriate material in the books. And reading is proved to improve the vocabulary. So you have the power of words. And whenever I'm writing a book, I make sure that our books will consolidate your child's vocabulary. So basically, all the words that they know already, they're already going to be in there. But not only that, I want to encourage children to learn new words, whether that's asking you or getting a dictionary and finding what a word is, or going onto the internet. And also, I want to engage the children, that they enjoy the adventure whilst they're learning. So they're learning all these great new words, they're consolidating all the words that they already know, and they're having a great adventure whilst learning. You know, reading is magical. Reading is magical. It's one of the most magical things that you can actually do. And a famous author said this: a person who reads lives 1,000 lives. A person who never reads lives only once. You know, if you pick up a book, you're actually walking in someone else's shoes. You're breathing inside someone else's skin. You could be a magician, you can be a dragon, you can be anything you want to be. And you live their life for the duration of that book. And it's a great adventure. And the author who said this, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, is George R.R. Martin. Yeah, George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones. And he says, a person who reads lives 1,000 lives. A person who never reads lives only once. And a book can give you so many incredible adventures. And this is from one of my favorite books. They made a movie of this book. Can you guess who this person is? Well, it's Grandpa Potts. It's Grandpa Potts from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And Grandpa Potts said some amazing things. He was an inventor in the book. He was actually written by Ian Fleming, the same writer as James Bond. And he said this: never say no to adventures. Always say yes. Otherwise, you will lead a very dull life. And who wants to live a dull life? Why live the life that we're living when we can live the life of thousands and thousands of characters simply by opening up a book? And that's it. That's the magic of books. Movies and films are great. Yes, I love going to the pictures. I love watching all these things. But there's nothing better than picking up a book and getting right into the author's brain, getting right into the adventure yourself. And we at Tomser Cat Books, we have loads of illustrated books, lots and lots of illustrated books. And there's some of them there. And you can see just one or two of the reviews that we've had from the books from real life kids who love going on adventures. So books or movies, well, especially during a lockdown period, which we've all gone through, a book is absolutely amazing. Movies are amazing too. But for me, it's got to be a book every time. So if you've enjoyed this video, why not click like and subscribe and click the bell button so you never miss a future video. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Tomser Cat, home of brilliant children's books.